46-year-old Andrew Beavis of Erskine, Minnesota, is facing a long list of criminal charges following a Sunday morning off-road vehicle side-by-side crash on the east side of Union Lake near Erskine on Sunday morning. Passengers, his wife, suffered serious injuries, and a 3-year-old child was not injured. Reading from the criminal complaint in part, quote, on October 17th at approximately 11:10 a.m., deputies were dispatched to an injury utility task vehicle crash. Upon arrival, deputies noticed a male, later identified as Andrew Beavis, with a small child kneeling next to a woman who was lying on the edge of a dirt field. The deputy also observed a green Arctic Cat Prowler UTV facing east in the dirt field. The deputy noted the UTV had sustained heavy front-end damage, and it appeared it had flipped end over end. The deputy approached the female and Beavis. The deputy observed that Andrew Beavis was holding a blanket to the woman's forehead and that the woman was covered in blood and had cuts on her legs. The deputy asked Beavis what had happened. Andrew Beavis told the deputy he was driving. He was traveling west on 390th Street Southeast to go home. He looked left and the UTV entered the ditch and flipped. The woman was thrown from the UTV. He and his son had their seat belts on. The woman did not have her seat belt on. He was driving somewhere between 30 to 35 miles per hour, and that he and his son are not injured. The deputy asked Beavis to lift the blanket from the woman's head. When Beavis lifted the blanket, the deputy saw a large and deep laceration that started from the middle of her forehead and went all the way to the left side of her head. The deputy noticed that the laceration was deep enough that he could see her skull. The deputy told Beavis to keep pressure on the wound and went back to the squad car and retrieved medical supplies. When he returned, the deputy placed gauze on the woman's laceration and was able to stop the bleeding. The deputy asked the woman if she had pain anywhere else. The woman stated she had severe pain in her neck and back. At this point, Erskine Fire Department personnel arrived on the scene and took charge of the medical efforts. After the ambulance left, Beavis asked Deputy Olson if he could have a ride home. The deputy agreed. Beavis and the deputy and his son got into the back of the deputy's squad car. The deputy drove them to their residence. While Andrew Beavis was in the back of the squad car, the deputy smelled a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from Beavis. Back in the yard of his home, the deputy administered field sobriety testing and did a breathalyzer test that registered .149, and Beavis was arrested. .08 is the legal limit. Andrew Beavis has now been charged with 4 felony counts of different variations of criminal vehicular operation and 2 gross misdemeanor counts of driving while impaired. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.